Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode here in NHL 22. So in last episode, we took on the Winnipeg Jets in the first round of the playoffs after we made a lot of offseason moves last year. And unfortunately, with the new looking team, we did worse than we did in the last few years because we were knocked out in the second round a couple times in a row. And in this last season against the Jets, unfortunately, we lost in 7 games in the first round. And the dynasty, I'd say, for this team is not fully over because we have won a lot of President's trophies as of late. We've won like 3 straight, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I actually go to awards and check that because I honestly don't remember. Yeah, we've won 3 straight President's Trophies, and then when we had our cups and stuff like that, you could see that we had a cup back in 35, 36, so the year before we won all these President's Trophies. And before that, we had like 3 cups and stuff like that. So our team is definitely still a dynasty. It's just about trying to get back over that hump and get back to like the conference finals at least. As obviously we don't have a lot of time left to win another Stanley Cup in, but yeah, anyways, we had a pretty solid first round, I'd say, even though we lost in 7 games. A lot of guys were picking up good numbers, especially Kay Gorodov, who had 7 goals in 7 games. So really hoping that we could re-sign him to a pretty good contract because he's one of the big guys up for renewal this offseason. There's some really big contracts. And also, we do have to still get to retirement, so we might end up losing some of these guys to retirement, like Geeky or Shelley. But you can see that, like Cons, for example, who we traded for last offseason, his contract is up. We also got Kay Gorodov to give a big contract to. Geeky might be gone. Shelley might be gone potentially if he retires. McIntyre needs to be re-signed. Sasaki. Shishkinov wants a lot of money. Like, this is going to be probably a pretty tough offseason. And then goalie-wise, Donovan also needs a contract, but at least he's in RFAs. So, anyways, before we get to the retirements and then the draft and the re-sign stage, we do have a couple comments to go over. So the first one is from HockeyGuy88. He says, some tough calls to make this offseason based on your cap situation. I think you're going to have to say goodbye to Geeky and maybe Shishkinov. So, yeah, Geeky is probably one of these players that could get replaced in a sense, but it would be kind of a big drop-off for our team, as Armsden was really good last year, so Armsden could technically take over that top-line center role, but as you can see, we don't really have any other centers that would be really that good. So if we could try and keep Geeky here, that would be great. If he retires, that'd be kind of detrimental as well. But hopefully there's some decent free agent options if we are to lose somebody like Connor Geeky. And then he was also saying Shishkinov. Shishkinov, I think, is okay to let go of in a sense because we could technically move McIntyre up in the lines because McIntyre has been actually pretty solid as of late in terms of the regular season. But yeah, Shishkinov, really great player, but there is a good chance that we lose him. He had a really good playoffs last year, and then this regular season-wise, he missed a lot of time, and he didn't come back on time for the playoffs, unfortunately. But he has had some really good career numbers, and he's definitely one of the better undrafted players I've seen. So, but yeah, there is a chance we lose him because of the fact that Kay Gorodov is going to get paid like a first-liner pretty much. So once Michkov is gone, basically Kay Gorodov will take over that top line right wing spot at some point, I'd say. So there is that. And then hopefully we can get Cons back because he really did drive the offense this year because we definitely need to have still an offensive defenseman on that back end. So there is that. And then the final comment is from Saturn Otaku, who says, something is up with this game lately. In my expansion franchise mode, I got to the Cup Finals and had a 3-1 series lead with a 4-1 advantage going into the third period of Game 5. I proceeded to lose that game 5-4, as well as the 2 subsequent games in blowout fashion. The following season, I got cheesed in the second round by a team that was objectively worse in every metric. So, yeah, I know what you mean with that thing where you lose in the third period and then you end up losing the game and the series, and it's kind of dumb. I've had that happen before in franchise mode, I think. And then, yeah, being outed in the second round by a team that's way worse, it's really annoying, especially like this. Like, we just got knocked out by a Jets team that finished below 500, so hopefully hopefully EA kind of fixes their, like, sim logic, because their sim logic is not really the greatest, so anyways, let's get to the retirements and see if we end up losing Calvin Shelley and Morgan Geeky. Why am I saying Morgan? Connor Geeky. Let's see if we end up losing any of those guys to retirement, because there is a chance we lose one of them. And if we end up losing one of them, it'll give us more flexibility cap-wise, but yeah, it'll be really sad anyways. So Minnesota's got the first overall pick in this year's draft. They moved from 3 to 1. Detroit's got number 2, and Montreal's got number 3. Vegas at 4, Columbus at 5, and yeah, there we go. I am scared. Is Shelley gonna retire? I don't know if he is or not. Let's go by each position. So starting off with the best centers to retire, Nico Hischier is the best. in Philadelphia. There's also Kanyemi. Kirby Doc, who actually, the day I'm recording this, signed a 4-year extension, I believe it was, with the Canadiens. Cole Sillinger, Peyton Krebs, Danny Zhilkin. Hey, Vasily Ponomarev, we had him for a little bit, I think, right? Because I traded for him early on. Didn't I? Yeah, I did trade for him early on, and he played a little bit with us, but not a long time. He was there when we went to the Stanley Cup Finals, I guess, in 25-26 when we lost to the Sens. And that was the furthest he probably got. And then Francisco Pinelli's there. Any players that play for us? Liam Havlet. This is an EA-generated guy already, damn. Matthias Solpoviov retires. He was another one of these guys that we had at the beginning. He was actually pretty solid at some stages of his career. So there is Solpoviov. Anybody else? No other centers. Left wing wise, the best. There's only 2 left wingers that retired this season. Damn. Jalen Coyle, who had X factors but never really panned out for the Canes apparently, and Zach Ostapchuk. Right wing wise, Svechnikov is the best. Caulfield. Looks like we didn't lose anybody to retirement. Yeah, we didn't lose anybody to retirement. That's kind of good. Spike Yoshi, that's a cool name. I didn't realize that guy was a player that got drafted in this franchise mode. So some EA-generated guys are actually retiring already. That's kind of scary. But Calvin Shelley is not one of them. Defensively, Drysdale's the best. Damn, Carson Lambos retires. He was with us in the Stanley Cup winning team for the first year, I think, that we won the Cup. Not mistaken. Or maybe that was the second year that we won the Cup. I know he was with one of our Cup winning teams. Ariel Ortmeyer retires. No, the AHL legend. Wow. Okay, so there's one retirement. He only played 2 NHL games with 1 goal, but he had a historic AHL career. Like, look at the amount of points he picked up in the AHL. Really good plus-minus as well for the most part. Damn, Ariel Ortmeyer. I wish I could have given you a better opportunity in the NHL, but you just didn't develop into being that guy. Damn. Probably won a Calder Cup at least down there in the minors. So that sucks. We do have one retirement. That's Ariel Ortmeyer, of all people. Hugo Lenefelt, another former goalie of ours, also retires. He was probably with us when we went to the Cup Finals, and that's all the retirements. So we didn't lose really anybody except for Mr. Ariel Ortmeyer, which is bittersweet because the AHL team could have used him for another few seasons. Like, he's only 74 overall. Like, he should still play, but unfortunately he's not going to, and that is retirement. So we didn't lose Shelley, which means he might end up going to free agency. Nico Hische is now a coach. It's interesting. And we do got a scout that just retired and was saying about re-signing, but he retired. That's unfortunate. And we did lose Donovan Yip. I believe that might be our head coach. That might be our head coach this offseason as well. And then we also lost a guy in the minors too. Damn. Was that our head coach or not? Because if that was our head coach, we might have to find ourselves a new coach this offseason again. Which is unfortunate. Let me take a look and see if that was our head coach. Yep, that was our head coach of the NHL. Yikes. Wasn't expecting that. So this guy could take over as our head coach this season, Jovanovski, potentially, if he fits the roster well. But we are going to have to look for a new head coach in next episode. So remind me on that, guys, because or else I'll probably forget. Or we could wait till the start of the season and then sign one up. Let's see what we got here. So let's go to the draft class to see what's available in this draft. I don't even know if we have a first rounder, do we? Because I think I traded away, right? I need to make sure I have my picks. Second round, third, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, a 6th, and a 7th. Oh yeah, we were gonna potentially draft this guy. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, this guaranteed low lead. So that's gonna be our second round pick potentially. Actually, wait. Do we have a pick around that spot or no? 38th. No, we don't have a spot around that, so we might have to move up in order to get this guy. You know, I might try and move up a bit just to get that guy. Just because I need to get ourselves at least some good prospecting. So let's get into this draft and see what this top 5 is like. Minnesota, Detroit, Montreal, Vegas, and Columbus. Minnesota at number 1 is going to take Sylvester, 79 2-way forward. Looking like that. Pretty solid pick there for Minnesota. Detroit at number 2 is going to take Murphy. Mr. Skylar Murphy, who has got no X factors, but is a sniper and has got really good shooting. So I don't know why he doesn't have any X factors, but there you go. Montreal at number 3 is going to take Nakamura, 73 DFD, medium elite. I don't know why this guy's only a 73, but he's not NHL ready yet. Vegas at number 4 takes a 70 top 4. Damn, this is going to be a really weak draft. This might be a weak draft. Damn. Top 4 going into top 5. Ugh. And there's a 74 medium elite in Mr. Lorenzo Thomas. So a lot of these guys aren't even really NHL ready, which is weird. So yeah, this might be a really bad draft class, so I don't know if it's worth moving up for that low elite guy. It might be still. Okay, let's see who has that pick that's right around early second round. Let's say Chicago. Do you want to move that pick? Yes, you do. That's originally from the Montreal Canadiens. We will give you our current second rounder, and we will throw in the earlier 4th round pick because we have 2 4th rounders. Might as well. That might go through on its own. I don't know. So 2nd and a 4th to move up a lot of spots. That's rejected. Apparently we might have to use our 3rd. I guess if we're moving up that much spots, it would make sense. What if I package both 4th rounders? Because it gives you an extra couple picks in the draft. Chicago. That's accepted. Perfect. Okay, that was easy. At least we didn't give up the 3rd, and now we've moved up a couple spots in that 2nd round, which should guarantee us a chance to get that low elite guy that I was just looking at. So let's sim to our pick since we do not have a 1st round pick. And let's see if we can get that low elite. Yes, we can. Perfect. I didn't have to move up that high, but I did. Just want to take a look at these other players available just in case. 2-year ETA potentially on this Brendan Moss guy, but I don't really want to take that risk. Or do I go with the guaranteed low elite? I think I gotta go with the guaranteed low elite just because I don't know for sure on Moss. So yeah, Julian Blum, welcome aboard. Right wing 2-way forward, or not 2-way forward, sniper. That is a perfect pick, especially with guys like Shelley retiring soon. Yeah, I like that one. That was worth it to move up, I'd say. Low elite 62 at 18. No X factors, but he should be a decent pick for us. Maybe he becomes like a Kagerodov in the future, or maybe we'll never find out. Our 3rd round pick now. Okay, I guess we're going to go with the high elite goalie since he's right around our pick, because that gives us some trade value as well. No weaknesses and no strengths, which is kind of funny. He's coming off a really good season in the United States with a .922 save percentage. Damn. Looks like he was like the backup goalie, but he was really great. So, Julian Stainton, welcome to Arizona as well. 47 high elite. It's pretty good. Low overall, but if he develops, he could end up being a starting goalie for us in the future, which is good because we definitely need that if we lose Donovan. Now we have back-to-back picks in this 5th round. What do we want to go with? Kuleshov, maybe. Can't really tell much about the rest of this draft class, to be honest. Looks like a crapshoot for the most part. Yeah, let's just go with Kuleshov with our first pick. Let's give ourselves a defender. Low 7th D. Oof. That is a rough pick for a 5th round. Like, that's more of what you want to see in the 7th round. And our last pick of this 5th round, I guess we'll just take the next best player, which is apparently Shovel Day. But he does have a weakness in character, which I don't like. So maybe I'll go with Redmond since he could be a top 4, but I don't think he is. Yeah, you know what? We're going to take Dylan Redmond. Why not? Welcome aboard. And he's also a 7th D, but a medium 7th and a lower overall. So a little bit of a weird picks there for the 5th round, but at least it gives us some defensive prospects. But I don't think they're going to get signed even at any point. And this might be our last pick of the draft. I don't remember if we have a 7th rounder. I think we do have a 7th rounder, so it might be not. Jack Kreider. Oh, geez, Jack Kreider? Jack Ryder? Yeah. Jack Ryder? Jack Ryder. Isn't there a movie called Jack Ryder or no? I might be making stuff up. But yeah, we'll take Jack Kreider because why not? He looks like he's going to be okay since he's a low top 6. 54 overall, so a lot of room for development, but maybe he becomes something. Maybe he becomes something at the AHL level instead. And our last pick of the draft at number 220, we are going to take. Should we take a fringe starter, Max Geisberger? And might as well just give ourselves some more goalie options, so we'll take him. Why not? And 54 overall, that's not bad. He's a butterfly goalie, which is a little bit weird. Guess you don't see a lot of those. So there's our draft. I'd say that's a pretty successful draft. Getting that low elite to move up, and then we also get a high elite goalie. We get a couple 7th Ds, which aren't great. We get a low top 6 who could end up making it at some point, and a fringe starter goalie. So I'd say a pretty successful draft for the most part. Gives us some prospects to build around. So Blum, Stanton, Kuleshov, Redmond, Kreider, and Geisberger. Now we got to get to the resign stage, which is going to be probably the toughest part about this episode, because we are going to end up losing somebody huge on our roster, I'd say, which is going to be pretty sad. And one of those is probably going to be Calvin Shelley, because I don't think I could pay him $5 million anymore with the amount of players up for renewal. So let's get to this resign stage, and we'll start by qualifying our RFAs, because I know I can't give them big contracts yet. So we'll just qualify all of them, just because it'll be easier that way. Let's start off by qualifying them. Do we want to sign Clark yet? He's not AHL eligible, but I will wait another year. Actually, maybe I'll give him a contract, but he won't get to play in the AHL yet. Maybe that will help his development, just getting a contract. Let's go to UFAs, though. Oh, man, this is going to be a pain in the ass. Kagerodov's the big one here, though. We need to sign him first. Ooh, I got to give him the amount of money he's asking for. Ooh, man. Let's just go by each position for a second first. Yeah, so Sasaki and Cons are very important. I am going to let go of McGrath already, because McGrath has just been a pain in the ass in this series for me, in my opinion. Sure, he's been okay defensively, or really good defensively, I should say. But he thinks that he's worth a lot of money, and he's definitely not worth that. Actually, he's only worth 2.9 now, apparently. Before he was trying to get like 6 million. But he doesn't want an extension, so we might let him go, because he's kind of like a locker room cancer in a sense. Don't really like how he's been, like, morale-wise, because you can see all this drop-off. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to bring him back, to be honest. Let me just get some of these AHL guys signed up again. Ferentz is going to get to play in the AHL, which is cool, because that's our first-round enforcer that we drafted a few years ago. I'll wait on the actual NHLers for now. Antonovich, since you got low elite potential as well, we'll sign you up. Same with Carter. We want to get all our low elites into the AHL. And then we will also sign Fallon, I guess, too, for the AHL. Hopefully the AHL team has a good season ahead. We'll let go of Goulet. And we will sign McElhaney. Two-way deal? Yes, nice. We'll sign Bykov as well, just to make sure the AHL is good still this season. Eddie Appleby still wants a two-way deal. Unfortunately, he never panned out. Wow, Philpeel wants over $2 million as a depth option. I hate it when that happens. Okay, so let's start off with Kagerodov. He's definitely the most important. We only have 51 million in cap space. He's definitely the most important to get back first. So, because he's been scoring goals a lot as of lately. So we got to give him probably what he wants here, which is 7 years at 11.75. That's a lot of money for a guy that's playing second line, but he will take over that top line spot once Michkov retires, which is probably in the next few seasons, I'm assuming. So let's give him exactly what he wants. I'm not going to drop him down at all, because Kagerodov is worth every penny. He scores 40 goal seasons. He had a 50 goal season. He's been our best playoff player over the last few seasons that we've not made the Stanley Cup Finals in. He's definitely worth all that money. Shelley, I'm going to wait on, because right now I don't know if I can. He wants 1 year at 5.1. So we might be able to bring him back, but I don't think it's worth it almost to an extent. I am going to let go of Armsden, the defenseman, just because we need to make sure we can find ourselves a better depth defender. Sasaki and Cons are very important as well to this team. Holy fucking Christ, Cons. Jeez. Okay, I can't give you that much amount of money, though. There's no way I'm giving you 16 million. He only had like 30-point seasons when he was in St. Louis, and then he plays with us and he had 75 points. And then didn't do really much in the playoffs. I ain't paying you 16 million. So I think I will have to let him walk for now, but I will maybe bring him back in free agency if he drops his asking price astronomically, because yeah, if you just go to have to a new team and have one good season, I don't think you're worth that much more. Like 40-point differential, like he might be really good with us in a sense because he's a good top defender. But I don't think he's worth the $16 million price tag. Because, like, if we drop this down to 1 year, he still wants, like, 15, which is a lot of money. So I think we gotta let him go for now. But we could bring him back. Which means, Sasaki, what are you wanting? Yeah, Sasaki's worth it. He's a really good DFD. His plus minus has always been good as well. He's 31 though, so I gotta pay him like a 31-year-old, so I can't sign him too long term. 3 years at 6.65 isn't the worst. Yeah, I think I gotta do that. I don't think I'll find an 83 for a better price. And I'm gonna let go of McGrath, I think, already, just because he's a locker room cancer. Yeah, I'm gonna let go of McGrath. I'm not really fond of his play, in a sense. Like, I'm fond of his plus minus, but I'm not a fond of his character. And then Cons, I think, has gone for sure. Shelley, I'm gonna wait on, like I said. Shishkinov, you are one of the other important ones. Might be able to afford him. 1 year, and let's drop this down a little bit to your actual price. 1 year at 6.9, I think I could afford. What about McIntyre? Oh, McIntyre thinks he's worth a lot of money. Just because of one good season as well. I mean, he's had some really good seasons as of late, but his playoff numbers were not good this last year. Like, only 2 assists in 7 games. He's got 99 defensive awareness, damn. How good is his face-off numbers this season out of curiosity? 48. So he's not the best face-off man, but he's a good two-way forward. But he doesn't have that much takeaways. It's weird that he has 99 defensive awareness, but his takeaway numbers aren't up. I don't think he's worth that much amount of money. Let me see about Geeky. Geeky thinks he's worth 11 as well. Man, this is just so expensive. I want to bring back Geeky, I think, because we need to have a top-line center still. He's probably going to retire soon, too, so I can't give him too long-term of a deal, or else he's going to get overpaid for. Would you accept 1 year at 11? Yeah, it might be an overpayment, but I need to have at least him. And then we'll try and get Filppula down to 1 year at 1950. I might have to let go of Filppula for a little bit. I don't know. And then we have to also think... I think McIntyre might be gone as well, to be honest. Let's advance today, see if we get all those important players back. Looks like some of them are rejecting, I think. Yeah, a lot of them are rejecting. Okay, Shelley, or not Shelley, Kagrodov accepted. That's huge. Okay, Geeky also accepted. We have 29 million, and who is still up for renewal? Let's just go to all positions so I can see this. So, yeah, we don't have enough money to bring back Cons. Cons is gone for now. As much as I like Cons, I don't think he's worth that much amount of money. Sasaki is the one that rejected, and same with Shishkinov. Ugh, friggin' Christ, this is expensive. Come on, Sasaki, we need you back, man. What if I do a 2-year deal instead and give you 6.7? And then we'll do the 1 year at 7 million for Shishkinov. I'd like to keep Shishkinov here, which means, yeah, likely Shelley and McIntyre, Filppula, those type of guys might be on their way out. Let's give these guys max 2-way contracts just to make them accept, because they are important players for that Tucson team, and getting some of those AHL guys some development. There you go. And those RFAs, yeah, we might have to make some moves because Donovan's still an RFA too. Man, this cap space situation is not great, but we tried to go for another Stanley Cup, so it makes sense. Okay, so both those guys accepted. McElhinney is still holding out. Let's give him a one-way deal then and just give him like 950. Yeah, I think these 3 are gone. Yep, unfortunately, I think that's going to be the case. Just because Voloshenko needs to resign. Let me just give these guys 2-way contracts because these guys aren't going to want for a lot. So we'll sign those guys up. And then, yeah, Voloshenko and Donovan still need contracts. Yeah, there's no way I could give McIntyre as much money as he's asking for. And then also Shelley would drop us down to like 12 million in cap space, which isn't really a whole lot. What do we got right now that's signed up? So let's sort by overall. We got 2 centers, 3 centers, and 4 centers with Voloshenko. 5, 6. Damn, our team is going to take a huge drop off this year. Yeah, I guess Lynch is going to jump up into the NHL this season. Okay, so we got to let go of Filppula. He's gone for sure. These $2 million is too much. We're getting low with McIntyre. His asking price is too much. And Calvin Shelley, unfortunately, I can't bring him back for this last season of his career potentially. There's just no way. Because he's not worth the $5 million price tag, I don't think. He is probably in a sense to this team, but when we have like Voloshenko to resign, we have Donovan to resign, and then we probably will have cap space to get him back. But we'll let him go for now, but we could bring him back. I don't like letting go of Calvin Shelley because he's been with us since the beginning pretty much. He's been kind of a streaky player at times, but he's a really good player. And unfortunately, he had no points in the playoffs last year. He had no points in 7 playoff games last year, so we got to let him go, I think. We might re-sign him at some point, but best of luck in free agency there, Calvin, and maybe we'll bring you back. We just need to see if you drop your asking price a little bit. That one hurts a lot. Oh, Kegrodov didn't like that either, which is funny because considering they both play the same position. Okay, let's advance today to see if we get the rest of these UFAs and stuff like that all sorted out. There we go, that's good. We got 17.685 with only 2 RFAs. We could bring back Shelley if we actually need to. But let's see what we got on our roster right now going into free agency. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 roster players right there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are 2 roster players short. We need maybe 2 more left wingers. Yeah, after losing McIntyre, we need probably at least another left winger. Yeah, we're gonna need some more forwards for sure. Defensively, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need 2 more defenders. Yikes, that's not good. And then goalie-wise, we have Donovan signed up. But we could honestly run Korean Galiev if for some reason Donovan gets qualified, if we want to let him go. But yeah, we definitely need a lot of stuff with 17 million. We need a couple forwards, and we also need a couple defenders. Our team has taken a major drop-off. We lost a lot of players in that resign stage. Let's see what's available, see if there's anything that could help us out here. Because I think our dynasty might be over, honestly, with the amount of players we just lost. There's 3 teams interested at Cons at that 14.75 million. He dropped his asking price a bit, but he's not worth it to us because that would literally eat up all of the cap space we have. Almost. But if we're going to bring in a defenseman on a budget-friendly contract, Clemenson wants 3.15, but he's a 79. Yeah, our defensive core is going to take a massive hit. Unless we could find an OFD that's like wanting only like $3 million. 2-way defenseman Reed Morrison. Doesn't have the worst offensive awareness, but he's definitely not any guy like Cedric Cons is. I don't know if we're going to find ourselves anything good in this offseason. There's some OFDs, but I don't think they're going to assimilate that well. Bogner scores a lot of goals. He actually might be okay if he gets put on a power play, though. There's also this 25-year-old, but he wants $4 million. Doesn't have the best offensive stats yet. Interesting. In terms of forwards, if we want to bring in a forward, because we do need forwards as well. There is all these guys. I don't know if we're going to be able to afford a lot in free agency either. This guy only wants... Oh, is that... No, it isn't. Okay, I thought that was... what's his name? The Thomas guy in LA. But Keaton Thomas is maybe a budget-friendly player. 31 years of age, only wants 1.95. Hasn't played in over a year. But he honestly might be the best option. Yeah, he might be a good option to bring in for this roster. So I think he might be one of the best fits just because he's cheap. There's also Beauregard who wants only 3.675. It's a high top 9. It's 26. Coming off a 40-point season in Vegas, which is pretty solid. Yeah, this guy actually might be a good option as well. Yeah, this guy might be another budget-friendly player. He's a UFA as well, so I'd say Beauregard, Thomas might be our best options. There's also Corazani. Wow, 35 goals? Yep, 35 goal season for this guy. Huh, that's interesting, but he probably got power play time, but this guy's got good shooting and stuff like that. Yeah, this guy had power play time this year, so I don't know if he'll get that with us, but this guy's a good goal scorer if he gets the opportunity. So there definitely is some wingers out there. A lot of our former players are also dropping the free agency, like Ustorf. Sadikov is also there. Left wing wise, Clefbaum is the best to be there, but obviously we can't sign a top-notch free agent with the amount of cap space we got, unless we made trades to free up some cap space, but I don't think that's needed. Yeah, our team is definitely going to need to sign some players. Just the question is who. Tham might be an okay bottom 6 option to bring in, honestly. He's at 79, 26 years of age. Might be a good 4th line option. There's also Jaguar. Wants a little bit more money, though. Yeah, we definitely could find some replacements, which is good. But I think our team is definitely going to take a huge drop off this season. At least in winning President's trophies. Damn, Shane Wright's available. Don't have the cap space really to get him in, which would be interesting as a top line center. I guess we could have let go of Geeky and signed him instead, but 25-year-old and Kuleshov coming off a 14-goal season. Not bad, I guess. 25, but wants almost $3 million. There's also Minton, who's wanting less than $1 million. This guy's dropping off because he hasn't played in a few years. Yeah, he hasn't played in like 4 years. But he was a really good depth option, it looks like, in the Islanders with 8 points in 10 games. He might be a good signing to bring in, even though he's 34. Also, Bowman, 25-year-old, trying to look for like cheap young options in a sense that could maybe blossom into being something decent for us. Vincent Damone's back there, interesting. So that's what's available in terms of free agents. Any goalies, just in curiosity purposes, in case we let Donovan get qualified. Stefan Pettersson, of course. Pettersson's going to sign somewhere interesting, I think. As long as we don't have to play him that often. Yeah, I don't really think we need a goalie, but in case you guys wanted to see the goalies available, there is that. And final thing we need to check is the progress reports. No, not the progress reports. What was I going to check? Oh yeah, the trading block. Couldn't remember for some reason. So what do we got here? Matejchuk. Anything else that's could potentially help us out? Biega, but he's making a big ass contract. Definitely don't have the money to spend $13 million on him. Anderson, no thanks. Wade Brooks, but signed for multiple years. Boro signed for multiple years. Irons signed for 1 year at 2.5. This guy's up here, DFD, it looks like. Yeah, this guy's pretty much a defensive defenseman, so nothing we really need there. Nothing in Minnesota. Froats in Montreal, but signed for multiple years. Yeah, McDonald, another goalie option. Only signed for 1 more season. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot trading block wise, which means we'd have to sign the players we need to make this team better. Gogolev. Yeah, I honestly don't know how this team's going to assimilate this season. I'm kind of scared about that. Tyrell signed for a big contract. No thank you. And Ling is a current RFA. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to free agency. We'll fill out a roster with what we need. And I don't really know how this team is going to be this year. Obviously, we still have a really good top 6 forward group, but the rest of our forward group, like our depth, is definitely starting to fall off a lot. So hopefully we can get another good season out of Michkov, Agostino, Kegrodov, Geeky, those type of players. And we also definitely need Yoshimura to step up this season. And hopefully Armstead could have a good second season with us as well. So let me know what you guys think down below. And I will see you guys next time.